we're going to examine one point of compression here at the femur. And that point of compression, an anatomist would call abduction. If I bring this leg out like this is the femur, the trochanter, or the neck of the femur, is going to hit against the lip of this acetabulum, it's called, the hip socket. And everyone's bones are shaped differently, just like you saw in the neck and the elbow. Everyone's femur is shaped differently. Everyone's acetabulum is shaped and positioned differently. So where this hits is different on everybody. Now, I'm keeping the pelvis level on the skeleton and raising the leg. The demonstration I'm going to ask a couple people to demonstrate is, let's get the legs apart about this wide, and let's tilt the pelvis like that. Let's tilt the pelvis until the pelvis tilts over and we get compression. But it's still the same. Whether I keep the pelvis level and raise the femur up, or whether I keep my feet and my femur on the ground and tilt my pelvis towards it, I can no longer tilt my pelvis that direction when compression occurs. So we're looking at the bowl of the pelvis, so the rough shirt line or belt line of a model. I ask her to straddle her feet apart a bit, so she's already slightly abducted. I have her put her hand right here on her hip, and I want her to tilt her pelvis this way until she cannot tilt her pelvis anymore. So don't lean into it with the spine, just the pelvis, right there. Now, if there were restriction here, that would be tensile. If she couldn't stretch her leg in through here, that would be tensile. But that's not what's restricting her. She has purposely placed herself so that she has compression right there. Now, if we let Ivy reach down, the rest of this movement is from her spine. The pelvis is not tilting anymore. If she comes up, boom, how far she could tilt her pelvis was that much. So she's got much less. She's already here before her spine even engages to take her down the rest of the way. Okay, and that's all spine. So again, Sherry stands, feet a little apart, so she's already slightly abducted. I'm going to have her place her hand right there, so she's indicating to herself and to you where is she going to start to feel this compression. She sticks her hip out to that side. That's it. Ivy was like this tilt of her pelvis. If it were tension, if it were here, it would be tension. If it were here, it would be tension. But Sherry's feeling it right there. I can't go over any further because of compression right there. So now if we say, okay, you've done that well, push your hip over, and now go into triangle pose, the reason she could even get close is because she's got a pretty flexible spine. Okay, Sherry, we'll make it easy for you. Feet wide apart. Stick the hip over. That's not going to change how much she can abduct, how much she can tilt. And now she tries to go down. It is possible, it's not true in this instance, it's possible Sherry could have had the same flexibility here as Ivy. She doesn't, but it could have been. Nonetheless, because she doesn't have the pelvic tilt, she's never going to go down the way Ivy did. Okay? But you could imagine a situation where someone only had the tilt of Sherry, but had an arm that was 4 inches longer and a spine that bent like Gumby. So both Sherry, this mythical Sherry, and Ivy would be doing the triangle pose or the side lean, but they're not feeling it in the same place. Two people who look the same on the outside are not feeling it the same on the inside.